Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today's October the 9th, 2022. And today I got four stocks that I'm approaching that buy target, right? They are oversold on many of the larger time frames, and the market has been trending lower, but it is a great opportunity to get in on these four stocks that I'm definitely looking at, and also advising our group members at Wealthy Mentor Trading to definitely look at going into this week. Names like Nvidia had a downfall, continued downfall on the semiconductor sector, along with AMD lowering their guidance, their third quarter, right? Along with Occidental Petroleum, gaining 21% over a 2-week span. Definitely a name that you should be watching, along with Twitter, Elon Musk, and his resurgence with the purchase of Twitter is back on the table. So definitely keep your eyes on that. But before we get started, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to the channel as we do release videos every Sunday. And if you are interested in trading with us on our Discord channel, Wealthy Mentor Trading, we still do have that 2-month $97 summer promo right now. The link is in the description. Everything that we're going to speak about today is part of the group. We deal with options trading, we deal with swing trading, day trading, pretty much analysis in the morning to get you prepped and ready to get you trading for that day ahead. All right. But before we get started on that, I do have the S&P 500 here, and as you guys know from my previous streams, I was looking for a continued move lower, and as you guys can see here, we did have a slight move higher towards that $3,800 line, and I did mention that was an area where we could definitely see a rejection at if we do run higher, and we did get that, right? We can see on the weekly candle right here that this is a pretty bearish candle. It did close green, but we closed at the very bottom, and we also closed below 3650, which is a key support line. So to me, all this stuff screams bearish. If I was to switch over here to the daily time frame, it would give you basically the picture of where we happened, right? Right. We started off here getting that rejection at 3800, unable to confirm some sort of mini trend change. Overall, we are in a downtrend, but it would help if we did close above 3800. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. We got a rejection here 3 days in a row, unable to break 3800, and we did close, as I mentioned, below 3650. So what does this all mean? Again, just like the previous streams I've mentioned, we are in a downtrend and we are heading lower. I had three targets in mind to the downside: 3650, 3400, and 3200. And we are on par to head lower this week towards that 3520, which would be my first area to stop at. Now, I wouldn't say this is major support. As I did mention, my two biggest targets right now are the 3400 and the 3200. 3400 being the top before the drop, on the COVID, and also 3200, which was a key support area where we bounced from, right, and we broke out from to create all these highs, right. We had that money printing with the Fed, obviously the inflation pushed us all the way to these astronomical highs, and now we are reverting back to the means, right? A complete 100% retracement. So I am looking for a continued move lower, guys. Unfortunately, the market is spooked by the higher interest rates. Recent unemployment numbers came out, and they are worse than expected. Obviously, all these signs point to a recession. However, on the good news, it does lead to a buying opportunity, right? And that's where I'm speaking to you guys about today. Four stocks approaching buy targets. And the first one on my list is Nvidia, right? Nvidia, part of the semiconductor sector. And if you guys missed my last stream, don't forget to catch that one. I was looking for continued bleeding on the semiconductor sector, right? And we did get that. SMH is the sector that Nvidia trades within, and we are at a point right now where we're heading to that 116 support line. It is an area where we bounced off, back on March 2021, and it led to a nice rally upwards. Unfortunately, right now we are in a different time frame, right? We are in a different way of thinking. We are in a different catalyst right now. The market's heading lower, the inflation, interest rates, all that stuff, all working against chip makers such as Nvidia. Uh, Overall, it doesn't appear to be spooking many of the big whales. Um, they did cite certain things, and I do agree with this. Growth metrics of this company are never going to end. Every single sector of the economy is going to be using these chips, and this is speaking with with regards to Nvidia, right? The Shark Tank, I believe, is Kevin O'Leary. He reiterated these words as well, and I completely am a firm believer of this. We're getting these opportunities to get these stocks at a very cheap price. We're looking at 100+% retracements on a lot of these names, and Nvidia is one of those ones that is primed for a buy target, right? So I am looking for continued movement towards that 116 line, that key support area. Now, if we do get continued downfall on the S&P 500 and we do head towards 3,400, I am looking for a break below that 116 area, right? Where we could have that 108.50 line filled and that $97 area as my next bearish targets. But I am looking at some sort of bounce at that 116 area, perhaps temporarily, then a move lower, right? It is still a great buying opportunity. And I never recommend members to catch a falling knife, but also to scale in your position slowly, especially if you are an investor. Definitely watch Nvidia heading down to that 116 line. And as you guys can see here, we are nearing that oversold condition on the weekly time frame. What you want to see is the larger time frames being oversold. It does lead to nice bounce gains. So definitely watch Nvidia going into this week and ahead. All right. And another name that is also part of the semiconductor sector, AMD. And AMD took a bad one this week, right? It definitely took a spill. And, we decreased 9%, closing the week bearish. The company lowered its third quarter sales guidance below analyst estimates. Technicals show that we are hovering around that $59 resistance, as you guys can see here. And it is the top of this resistance, right? So previous resistance now turns to support on the downside, and we did close at that support line, right? Slightly hovering underneath that $59 line. So I am watching that line for continued move lower. Yes, unfortunately, we are going to head lower on AMD, much like the semiconductor sector. It does still have further bleeding to go. The good news is that we do have that 48 support line that we've consolidated here for quite a bit back on 2020. So there's could be great buying opportunities at that $59 line, right? And great buying opportunities at that $48 line. So this week I am looking for continued move lower on AMD along with Nvidia. The whole semiconductor sector is at a place where we can definitely see a buy target, a bounce area around those times. So definitely keep your eyes on AMD for further bleeding and a great buying opportunity towards target of 48. Now, if you are a Wealthy Mentor Trading member on our Discord channel, you do get my ins and outs as the day progresses, my intraday trading, and I am watching this name for a continued move lower towards 48. I will be apprising students of my entries and my exits as I see fit, along with the market conditions, of course. So be sure to check out the link in the description if you do want to join us. All right. Another name that is acting like a market hedge. I did instruct students that this was one of the names that was pretty much heading higher while the market was heading lower, and that is Occidental Petroleum. And if I was to show you guys here, you guys do know that we are in a bull flag formation, right? It's hard for me to say those words because it's been very scarce recently. And here we are on the weekly time frame. Oxy has been one of those names that, like I said, has acted like a market hedge. It did gain 21% over a 2-week span amid the rise of the oil prices. You guys know that you guys are going to the gas pumps, they're heading higher. That's an indication that names like Oxy are also going to head higher. So definitely keep your eyes on Oxy. Like I said, we did close at the very top. We did get a rejection at that $72 line. It is an area of resistance, right? So for me, we did have a nice pop above 74, getting rejected at 77. But most importantly, we did close the weekly candles below 74. So for me as a trader, as someone that is looking to pinpoint his entries, I'm definitely looking above that $74 line for a push towards 77, especially if we receive increasing gas prices. The oil prices are insane. Um, so also the market downturn, as long as the market goes down and the oils goes up, names like Oxy is definitely going to thrive off this. And it is in a weekly bull flag formation, right, guys? And it's been in that formation for a long time. Anywhere from $54 to $72 has been a good buy. If you guys caught my previous streams, Warren Buffett has increased his position on this name as well. So if that gives you some sort of comfort that a bigger guy, someone with a lot of money is interested in a name like this, it's definitely a name that you should be watching moving forward during these turbulent times. All right. Last name, and it made some headlines this week. Obviously, it's been back and forth with Elon Musk and Twitter and Tesla, and that's Twitter, right? TWTR, and the purchase is pretty much back on the table. And I was mentioning to members a while back that this thing is never a dead end, a closed deal where he's off and he's not going to come back. There's always going to be some sort of talk, some sort of negotiation process between something like this. You don't just purchase a big company like this and, call it a day. There's going to be back and forth, especially with a character like Elon Musk. He's always in the news, causing some drama. Obviously, you guys did catch my stream last week where I was expecting Tesla to drop lower. Basically, we're going down to test the bottom of the channel, and this was the catalyst for that, right? So essentially what Elon Musk did was he unloaded some shares off Tesla to be able to purchase the sale of Twitter. And we saw a pop on Twitter. Unfortunately, we are still in that area where we cannot break above $55. We got a rejection here back on April. I'm pretty sure there was some news regarding that sale at that time again. And we got a rejection there. And again, we got a nice pop this week, obviously up $49. Unfortunately, we did not hit $55 this time, but it did show a rejection and a candle body close below that $49 area of support. So again, guys, it's one of those names that you should be keeping your eyes on. I am personally watching above that $55 area for targets of 60 and 64. Now, analysts have raised their price targets from $37 to $54. Rosenblatt was the analyst for that, so it is a reputable name. Personally, like I said, I'm watching above $55. To me, anywhere from 41 to 55 is all noise. Now, with that being said, as I did mention, that I am looking at entries and exits on an intraday time frame, right? So that leads me to my Wealthy Mentor trading group. I do inform students that where I'm entering, where I'm exiting, especially names like this that are trending. It's obviously it's difficult to find names that are trending higher. Twitter is one of them right now. Oxy is one of them right now. And obviously, as I mentioned, AMD and Nvidia are at these critical buying opportunities that you can definitely see some nice gains in if you just have some patience in this market. And so keep your eyes on Twitter. Key thing is $55. Key support is that 49 and $41 area. And obviously, if the sale goes off, you're definitely going to see a decline in Twitter. Obviously, an inverse correlation to Tesla would also move higher as well. So keep your eyes on these four stocks that are approaching buy targets, guys. I know it's difficult times right now. Hang in there. I believe that we are close to a bottom on the S&P 500. The faster that we go down, the quicker that we recoup, and perhaps we get a Christmas rally. I wouldn't hold my breath on that because this year has been spoken for. It is in a downtrend, and we are close to bottoming out on that downtrend. Okay, so eyes on those four names. Good luck trading, and to my Canadian viewers, happy Thanksgiving, and wish you guys all the best moving forward. Thank you guys. See you next week.